What's going on, guys? Riley here from RP Productions, and today we finally went and installed that front splitter I have been talking about for so long now on the front of my Scat Pack. So this front splitter is courtesy of BJ's Garage 570. It's a brand new product design, and my car is the second one in the whole world to have it installed, so that's pretty cool to be able to say that. Brian, the owner of BJ's Garage 570, is also the same guy that makes those nice SRT powered badges that I have on the rear of my vehicle, who I've made a video about in the past, and many of you have asked me where to get those badges. So this is the same guy, same company. He also does, obviously, splitter designs. He has one out for the Challenger, and he just came out with this brand new one for the Charger. So coming up here to the front splitter. So clearly it is part of the Defender Series comp splitters. You have obviously the nice front splitter with a little lip around the edge for protection, and the two support rods that we have colored black in our installation process. So now that you've seen what it looks like on the car, I'll go ahead and play the installation process with some commentary to hopefully help you guys out if you have any questions on installation. If you want to see the true installation guide, BJ's Garage 50 has his own YouTube channel where he has done an installation with it. So you can definitely go check out his. He goes a little bit more in depth. He also shows how to remove the front bumper. I have already removed that front bumper in a separate video with my headlight install. So if you're curious on how to remove the Charger bumper, you can definitely check out either one of those videos to help you out. But here is how you install this front splitter. Before we begin the installation process, I'd like to give a huge shout out to ModFX Customs, located on the northwest side of Houston, Texas. ModFX primarily does all the stuff located here on the back of their business card, but I'm sure they can knock out some of your other projects. If you have any questions, there's all their contact information. Once again, northwest side of Houston, Texas. RP definitely approves. They have my highest recommendation. Definitely check them out. Alright guys, here's a quick overview of what that front splitter looks like right when we unboxed it. As you can see, pretty high quality. You got the nice little sticker with that little lip I mentioned earlier. All the hardware is provided, which is nice. You don't have to go out and buy anything extra. It all comes with the package. The first step to installing the front splitter is removing your front bumper, and as I mentioned, I already have done a video on this, and BJ's Garage has also done a video on this, so go check both of those out if you need help. Here's the underside of my front bumper. As I've been telling you guys for the longest time, it doesn't look too pretty, and there's all the scrapes that I've already accumulated on there, so hopefully we do not add to those with time. Start off by setting your bumper on top of the front splitter, taking a lot of measurements and lining up how you're going to lay that front splitter on the car. Also, at some point in this process, you'll need to take off this plastic piece inside the front bumper. You can do it at any time. We just knocked it out first just to get it over with. You'll need to take this stuff out for the support rods. That is pretty much the last step on the splitter installation, but do this at some point. There's just some plastic pins that hold this little piece in. Go ahead and separate the belly pan from the bumper. There's just basically some little nuts and screws that hold this sucker in there. Just screw them out. That way you'll have a bumper in one piece and that little belly pan in another piece. Using the bumper only portion, go ahead and place it on top of the splitter. Line up everything with measurements and stuff that I've kind of skipped just to save time on the video, but go ahead and line everything up, grab something sharp where you can make some little marks in the holes, and pretty much you're going to use those existing holes in that front bumper. You're just going to widen them out a little bit to use the provided hardware. That'll be a lot more sturdy, but pretty much just make some little marks. That way when you take the bumper off, you'll know where to drill in that front splitter. Go ahead and drill 2 guidance holes through the bumper, through the splitter on the very far ends. That way you can line everything up. Once you have the guidance holes, you'll want to go ahead and widen out the holes on the belly pan, doing pretty much the same process you did with the bumper. You just want to basically, we're going to use the same holes, but just widen everything out. So now that all the holes are widened out and you know exactly where you're going to drill holes, go ahead, start drilling all the holes in the front splitter. It's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, it may seem like there's a lot of work required to this, but really all you're doing is widening out the existing holes on the front bumper, on that front belly pan, and just drilling some new holes in the front splitter. Taking correct measurements is probably the most important thing of this whole entire thing, so take your time, make measurements correctly, and you won't have to go back and do anything over again or have any unwanted holes. Once you widen the holes on the belly pan and the bumper, go ahead and place the splitter back up there, and now you're going to pretty much put the provided hardware through those holes you just drilled to combine all 3 portions together. Once you place screws through all the holes, go ahead, put the provided nuts on the other side, tighten those down, and you're pretty much good to go at that point with the majority of the installation. We also drilled 2 extra holes in these locations right here, just for added support. That way you have some towards the back, that way things won't flop around. I mean, really, we had 3 screws left over. We probably could have placed them in other positions. Jose does this stuff all the time. I trust his word. He said to drill holes here, so we went with it. Here's a quick walkthrough from Mr. ModFX himself on how you will take the bumper off of the car from now on.
For your original bolts, which I just replaced and put the bigger, thicker ones. And then your OEM is going to be bolted back here again.
Okay.
So there's no change. Really is no change. And then I put these back here, make it, you know, sturdy.
So if I wanted to take this bumper off, it'd be these 2 bolts, and that'd be it on the bottom?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Before it had to be, before you hit, the way people used to do it, they used to remove the bottom splitter, then remove their bolts, and then remove these. So now, since it's all one piece, you just have to go further back and take off 2 bolts.
Gotcha.
And these 2 little clips here.
And all the clips, yeah.
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 Now we're going to move on to the support rods, and as I mentioned before, the rods that came with this package were not the finalized ones, but thankfully Mr. ModFX had some laying around the shop, so we went ahead and used his. We used some heat shrink tubing to go ahead and color them black. This part is pretty simple. You pretty much just drill the holes in that front splitter of where you want them to go. One half is going to be in the splitter, the other half is going to be in the pre-existing holes located on the upper half of that bottom grill. You're going to place them through there and kind of sandwich them with a couple washers and a locking nut. My advice is go ahead and use some Loctite and lock all of this stuff up. That way nothing will rattle loose and the positioning of anything will not change. Go ahead, tighten everything up, double check your work, make sure everything looks good. And now we're going to go ahead, place the bumper back on the car. And at this point, the splitter installation is pretty much complete. As Jose mentioned earlier, don't forget about those 2 bolts that lock that belly pan to the car, which are basically just 2 10mm bolts, but that's a pretty simple removal process if you ever need to take your bumper off again. And there she is, the final product. Overall, extremely satisfied with it. So now I'll give a couple bad things about having a front splitter. Number 1, obviously it lowers your ground clearance. Here's a little clip of me pulling into my driveway, and as you see, not much room there. So I honestly wouldn't recommend lowering your car, and if you do have a lowered car, you're really gonna have to watch out for scraping that sucker. I'm sure as hell gonna have to watch out for scraping it. I mean, these cars already sit pretty darn low. I'm at stock ride height, and that's how much ground clearance there is. So obviously you'll have to be pretty careful with it, but the good thing is that it will prevent the bottom of your bumper from getting scraped up. Now you'll just kind of scrape up that black piece rather than your paint. Number 2, this material that it uses is a pretty sweet material. It's really lightweight, it's pretty rigid, but one problem with it is that it scratches pretty easily. So one recommendation that I might make is maybe get like some clear 3M vinyl wrap and wrap it with that. That way you have a protective coating, and it would also help with, I guess, keeping it clean and stuff, leaving fingerprints and just swirls and stuff off of it. So that's a good way to go. I'm sure there's several other ways where you could probably put some kind of clear over it just to help out with the longevity of the finish, but it does look really good. I'm sure it has some kind of clear coat already on there. It just scratches kind of easy, so you just have to be careful with it. The support rods, as I mentioned in the video earlier, these were actually some that Jose at ModFX had laying around the shop. I talked to Brian about it. He said he was going to start including some better rods with his design. As I said before, this is the second one in the whole country, so it's kind of like a sort of pre-production type thing. He hasn't finalized everything, which, you know, I gave him some feedback. I said, hey, change the rods, and I think he's going to do that. And once again, as I've mentioned from the video, you can change the color of the support rods, whether you want to use the heat shrink tubing that we used, or you can use vinyl wrap, or, I mean, you could probably plasti dip them. You can do whatever you want to change the colors of them. I just chose black because I think it looks pretty good. But yeah, there you have it, guys. So, of course, all the information will be in the description that you could ever ask yourself about this. Brian's video will be in there. ModFX's information will be down below. The website to buy this will be down below. The discount codes, I mean, everything will be in the description, so definitely check that out if you're interested in buying one of these. Discount code is RPPRODUCTIONS to save yourself $15. The total price of this splitter comes out around $275 plus shipping, which really is not bad. I'm extremely happy with the results. I think it looks really good on the front of the car. Definitely a lot better than that easy lip I had on there. That thing turned out to be a huge pain in the ass to rip off this car, so if you have an easy lip or an all fit lip, just be aware taking it off is going to suck. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it helps you guys out on choosing if you want a splitter or not, and if you're going to install it, hopefully it gives you a little bit of guidance if you need a little bit of assistance. So thank you guys for watching this video. I will see you on the next one. Take it easy.